Hello and a warm welcome back to the WenDirk cast, episode 42. It's a special one because it's a live one. We're a podcast about all things concerning the Metaverse Football League. All of you know that. All of you certainly do know that. Obviously, you've got Calvinator and Jimbo, your two hosts, and we're going to discuss this MFL updates, transfers, and developments. One important note, this is not financial advice. Do your own scouting or hire a director of Metaverse Football. Calva, it's been a very busy and hectic week. How are you? How is everything?
Well, I think that's the right description, very busy and hectic. So, of course, we are now both national managers. You're England, I'm Poland.
Confirmed.
And we're in full preparation. I know my nation chat is pretty active and we're discussing loads of tactics. And meanwhile, I also made a Poland MFL Twitter account.
Yes, I saw. Yeah,
I feel like I have enough time in the world. So follow that also, MFL Polska. But yeah, it's been great, and I really like the hype of this tournament. So we'll talk about way more about it in this episode too. I think it will be mostly about Euro. There's been a big announcement today we need to talk about.
Yes.
So a lot of things. So I would say let's dive straight into that. You agree?
Yes, let's start straight into it. So personal journeys. I'll let me go first. So for me this week, Ron John, I'm going to talk about some stuff as well. Congratulations, national team appointments. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, England manager and Poland, as Calva just said. But yeah, it's been a massively busy week for me in MFL. I've been on holiday in Romania for the week. So I got back last night. I nearly missed my flight. I got back late at night and I went to the office today and Calva went, do you fancy doing a stream in 6 hours? And I went, yeah, sure. It's going to be a tight squeeze, but yeah, sure. So if any of you have played my teams this week, you're welcome because I've had no time. I've been off the grid for a week because I've been using Wi-Fi for about an hour a day. I've not had the time to do anything. So Wyverns and both my clubs were out of the cups. That was fine. The Wyverns 1-2, lost one, and the same with the second club, or something along those lines. They're both sat mid-table. All my focus has been on the England Euro Championships 2024. So we've got that squad sent out. We've got the full squad of 25. Were you able to get us full squad of 25?
No, we have just 20. So we didn't sell. I think we sold 800. So yeah, 800 shares. So we did with like 80% of the benchmark of the 1,000. I think you needed.
Yeah,
but is enough, and like there's no fatigue. You only need one goalie, so we called up one goalie. It felt a bit wrong, right? Normal squads.
I called two. I think I could call two. I think I called two.
These are 3 goalies. We just called up one goalie. I think we might use about 16 of our guys. I think 4 will never be played.
Yeah,
enough. I don't like the 25. You could maybe use if you have a very, let's say, big. Like the quality gap is not too big, right? You have like a lot around the same average.
Yeah.
We have a pretty defined couple of options we were going to play, and I don't think there will be. Yeah, we don't need all of them, so we have like 20 is enough for us.
Yeah, we've got 25. We've got a couple of formations we can play. We literally sent the squad off last night quite late, and then even this morning they still weren't on there. I think they were literally playing right up until the end. They were adding the squads. But yeah, it's been a busy week. But I'm full focus now on the Euro, or obviously the rest of my two teams. But England takes priority for me at the moment.
Yeah. So we both play our first official one Sunday, and then today at the end of this episode we'll play your first friendly, right? Against Poland. So let's see how that will go. I'm curious. We beat Czech today 2 times 7-3. It's like a crazy score. So it's like 7-3 for us twice. So apparently we're very good at scoring, but also it's conceding. So I don't know if I'm very happy with that. But okay, I think let's just talk about the dev updates, and then later we have a bit more time for some Q&As and more talk about the Euro, and of course talking about our match. So let's talk. Let's do dev updates. So of course the European Championship, what we've been talking about, is happening right now. The team has done a lot of put a lot of effort into this, into preparing it, to make sure that you can sign those players to your teams. The polls for the managers, like creating those visuals also. So probably on Twitter you've seen it. So they've really done a lot of that. And this is very important. It lays the groundwork for delegating club management in the future. So this has been requested by so many people. Like, can I loan out a club to a friend? So maybe my friend doesn't want to put any money in Veld. He has 20, like I have 20 clubs. My friend has no club. He doesn't want to spend money. Just give him a club to manage. So this might be, let's say the groundwork for delegating club management in the future. The new division, we need to talk about it. Yeah. So Stone is not the lowest division anymore. There's been a new tier, Ice. So the Ice division has been added. So yeah, we definitely need to talk about it. And 5 new countries, that's also interesting, have been added. So you can have clubs from 5 new countries.
I don't even know what those countries are. I've not had a chance to look.
We'll check it later together. We'll talk about it. Engine updates. So Quentin has been working, as always, on the engine, and he focused kind of balancing the upcoming engine for the next season. Some significant changes will take place, and they experiment with some new things, which might, again, it's always about balancing throughout the season. And there's been a lot of feedback on the engine. I think it's mostly upset related. I think that's the big one. It's like, how much upsets do you want?
Yeah.
And he's gonna, he has diligently reviewed them this week, and we'll share a report soon. So a little report about and performance. And also the team has defined a new model for energy impact on the simulation. So maybe fatigue will change next season too. Then, really important news, new translations incoming. So Portuguese and Turkish. So the app will be available in 2 new languages. So maybe we'll see a huge influx of users from those 2 countries. Maybe even Brazil. That's also possible with Portuguese. Will be really exciting.
Yeah.
And finally, technical stuff. So this Flow, this new Flow programming language, right? Cadence 1.0. The team is still working on that, but yeah, it doesn't affect us that much, I think, with the game. So what's your big takeaway from this? I guess Ice is a big thing. What's your other big takeaway?
There's so many big takes, mate. Obviously, yes, the new division being called Ice, or being introduced, announced, being the Ice division. The 5 new countries, which Yax has quite nicely put in the chat, of Qatar, Panama, Greece, Mali, and Ivory Coast. So there we go. Some really nice ones in there, especially Greece and Ivory Coast, 2 really nice nations being put in there. This is actually my first time listening to dev updates or reading them, because I haven't had a chance to at all today. So actually some of it there I had to go read at the same time, because I just didn't know what was happening. I didn't even know that the piece about you can manage clubs that aren't yours and things like that. How that's a huge.
Well, it's not there yet, right? But it will be possible with this. Yeah. So it's a big thing, definitely a big thing, huge thing.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a huge thing. Yeah. So, because how many people do we know in the community who have clubs that would like to be managed by someone else or things like that? So,
but I think the main thing, it's also we've talked about those people we also have friends who are very afraid of NFT and crypto, but who love Football Manager, and their main argument why they don't want to join is always, money. Yeah. And now literally I give them 1 club and I give them players for free. I give them everything for free. They can just play with me for nothing, for free.
Yeah.
Right. So that's also, I think, very important. And once they're in, they might start, maybe spending, buying their own club, their own assets. So I think that's also huge for getting new users.
Yeah, it's a really great step in direction we want to be in.
The right direction. Yeah. Yes. And also those countries also think it's nice that there's a bit more African, Asian in there. Maybe Africa Cup, Asia Cup will also be possible for future nation events.
Yeah.
And so Bruzel asked in the chat about the thoughts on the new division being Ice. So we've been maybe also a little part of this discussion, whether it's wood or ice or clay or oak. Like there have been many names. What do you think about Ice? You like it?
I quite like it. Yeah, I didn't expect to have a new division been rolled out so quickly. So when I was in Romania, I looked at my phone and I saw this discussion going on, and I was reading it, and I just sort of like swiped off it, and then like 3 days later, gets announced. So it was all very new to me, but I really like it. It's almost like the color of my little England jersey.
Yeah, you're repping
my
Ice
England
League.
jersey. I think it's a good name. I think some of the things we discussed about was it can make a lot of nice visuals because ice is, a good word.
It's definitely great for the visuals. Yeah, some people said, "Oh, actually, ice is way cooler than stone." So why not the other way?
Yeah,
but then ice can melt, right? So it's less solid than unless you live in the Arctic, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does that mean we're going to get one called Fire? Do you reckon as well?
Earth. Well, let's first sell this out. I already saw when I was checking some users in Salesbot that there have been already established some ice clubs and ice packs and have been opened. So that's great to see that activity.
Yes, and even Parry Patter in the chat, he said he's got the Mars Club already. So, quick moves already in on that.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's time for the season updates. So everyone take a look at the Diamond League. Go to the app, check out the Diamond League, and we're also
we can go one step further. Why don't we just share?
We can pull it up, maybe.
We can pull it up. So let's talk about the Diamond League.
Yeah. So now it's time for the season update, where we always take a look at the Diamond League, how it's going, hype it up a little bit. We want to create kind of these bit of lore, bit of drama. Time to discuss the season update, the Diamond League, how everything is going. We love to discuss the Diamond League, hype it up a little bit, and create some drama. And there is a very hot title race going on at the moment. Meta Mercenaries 28 points, BFC Barcelona 25 points, and then quite a big gap, 6 points to Londinium. So it seems to be a two-horse race between those two teams who have both already won Diamond. And then there's quite a big group of clubs, and the race for the third place is still very, very open. The best of the rest. Yeah. I think that's a good summary. What is your observation? Like, what happened compared to last week?
Well, I think I said 2 weeks ago I said Meta Mercenaries in BFC Barcelona never drop out of the top two. And I'm pretty confident on that now, that they definitely will not drop out of top two unless something drastic happens. Meta Mercenaries got that 3-point lead, like you said. The Berlin hooligans, you German hooligans, you and Brandon and the others, you're not officially bottom anymore. You've moved up one, so I think that's
we're happy with that win. It's and also it still looks good. Like you could even dream of a third place still. Although 7 points, there's 5 more games. It's not impossible. So also Londinium with 19, and then we have 7th place OM Legends with 17. That's so close. So it's really interesting to see what's gonna happen there for the third place.
Yeah.
And also maybe you can look at the cup. So I think the Titans Cup Tier 1, and there is 4 Diamond teams competing for this. And actually, Ballers and Meta, I think they have both already been, if you scroll down, have been eliminated. So it's the teams who are, let's say, in that group, they are also competing for the Titans Cup. So we have OM Legends, Sparky Ibirapuera, Londinium FC, and DFC Bistione Milano. So that's also really interesting that someone else will get the cup for sure. Will win the big one there. So I think it's pretty good season.
So far. It's nice to see that we could get a returning Titans champion in Londinium, or we'll get someone completely new, which I think is, in terms of new, as in previous winners as well. So I think that's really, really great for competitions. But what we like to see is what we're going to see.
Yes, and it would be great if Joe B, for example, with Own Legends, like he's been really working on a squad, if he would get rewarded for that with a nice price. So I think I might want him to win it. I don't know if it can be biased, but I think for his renewed spirit and dedication, it would be good for Diamond if he wins something and get some confidence there. Marketplace, I think. We have an interesting splash. I can already spoil that we have an interesting splash. And there will be the first really live splash of the week coming, guys. So stay tuned for that. In terms of new managers, I've seen about 10 people. So I'll shout them out. So Pietro Tonazzini, Mr. Valle, Florent, Gaffer, Pierre LPP, Lolo NZ, Aurelius, Davide, and Lauro Poschi. And I put as new user of the week Gaffer, just because it's funny. You have Fantasy Gaffer and now also Gaffer, and we have Busco and Bosco. So we get these more Spider-Man memes getting created. And he also bought quite a lot of guys in. I saw the sales bot. So Gaffer is the new user of the week. Then some quick shout outs for active managers. So for example, bulk buying, Exa, XVIX, so probably some Roman numerals there. He bought quite a lot of guys. Luca Ragnar seems to be back. Matt Hay, Hootewink, MSC. Make Think of Scores has to buy more players for his team, so he's been very active too. So some interesting moves also for uncommon and rare players. Morganescu bought quite a lot. Ivy Dex. Lado, also interesting name I didn't see for a long time, or actually never, but he bought a lot of new rares, plus 2 ice clubs today. So that's interesting. So he's really getting passionate again. And a nice rare splash, Sam 100. He bought an 83 rated striker for 330 USD. Legendary players, again, none. So the whole legendary market is a bit down. Stone clubs. So when we talk about clubs, it's interesting that the stone floor seems to be moving already. We see some stone sales around 100 USD. And also some iron clubs and bronze, like those floors seem also to be moving. For example, Ancient, Adrian, and Salzinho, they all bought a new bronze club for 200 USD each. So there used to be times when bronze clubs sold for 100, now it's 200. Unai bought a gold from Mechelen in Belgium. That's how I say it in Belgium, in Flemish, for 400 USD. So gold 400 USD. And a Big T bought Napoli gold for 375 USD. So that is pretty interesting, the club market, I think. And then I'll hand it to you for your specialty.
It's my specialty. So before we get into the big part, trade of the week, or just trades of this week, there's been quite a limited pool of trades to look at this week. Obviously, one, it's during the season, so the trades aren't really happening as much. And two, because this is also 5-day week for us, not a 7-day, because we're recording 2 days earlier than usual. So there could be some big activity tomorrow and Sunday, which won't get included. But there was a trade between Something Balling 23 and Scrub, where we saw our good friend, the one non-MFL NFT, once again appearing. And if you don't know what that's all about, last episode we discussed that. Vogon told us what this mystery one non-MFL NFT is. So that's essentially an NFT being purchased for money, essentially. It's almost like a trade, a monetary trade. But Something Balling received 8 different rare players, and Scrub got his one non-MFL NFT. So nice little trade there. Probably the biggest one of the week so far. And then the live rendition of Splash of the Week. And what makes it even more special than it being a live Splash of the Week is the fact that for the first time, I'm pretty sure on Splash of the Week's history, in the 42-week history of Splash of the Week, we have a club sale or clubs sale for Splash of the Week. So we've got Brad Yorkle purchasing Istanbul Platinum Club for $799. And then we also have Kinshu, who we interviewed in a couple episodes ago, who bought the Santa Fe Plat side for $799 as well. Fragioco also in the chat as well. Huge. Congratulations, sir, on that platinum purchase.
Nice. You're a splash. Congrats.
Yeah, congrats. If you want to say a quick line in the chat right now that we can read out as to maybe why you bought it, or happy, or a little bit of an interview piece, then go for it. But it's really great to see 2 plats being moved in a week for basically $800. And what's really great is we interviewed Kinja a couple of weeks ago, and I said to him, he said he wants to be one of the best players of playing MFL, and he's bought loads of legendary players recently. He spent the most amount of money in the marketplace during this transfer window of season 0.6. And I think I did pose a question to him. I said, will you ever go to Plat? I can't remember his answer, quite frankly. It was that long ago. But it's great to see that he's moving up. He's still it. Yeah, I'm not going to wait for Pro Rail. I'm just going to do it myself.
That's really good. And I think Plat might almost be full now, right? There's like 24 teams. I think we almost have maybe 95 to 100% maybe full. So that's for the first time ever. Yeah, so really special splash. We have 2 clubs tied also, and it's a club splash. And we have also the splash in the chat, Fragioco. So that's nice to have a live reaction. Okay, so he says the purchase will be part of a freeway trade at the end of the season, and he will trade for another Plat club so that my 2 Legos will find a new home. Okay, so that's interesting. So to be continued, this story, this bigger trade.
Yeah.
I can imagine there's more Italian players or clubs involved in the trade, but I think Fragioco can confirm that later, or during the Q&A we can discuss it.
Unlike Bosco, where he just hoards Ukrainians and a nationality nowhere near connected to himself, Fragioco has pride in his nation and likes to hoard, not hoard. Hoard sounds like it's a bad thing. It's definitely not. He hoards the Italian players and clubs, which they love to see nation taking an influence in a manager's career in NFL.
It really makes to see. So I hope it will be an amazing Italian Plat team. But Fragioco says in chat, you'll see. So to be continued, little nice cliffhanger for this story of the new Plat clubs and developments in the Platinum League. How Dirk, it will be a bit special too, because for the first time, Dirk has been called up to represent the Netherlands in the MFL European Championship. And I've done my research, and Dirk has been playing, well, good thing, he's always playing, and he's always as a right mid, but in multiple formations, such as 4-1-2-1-2, 3-4-3, he's playing in a 4-2-3-1 as a right mid, and a 5-4-1 as a right mid. And fun fact, I'll be facing him in the first match on Sunday. So I'll be playing with Poland against the Netherlands, my own country, and against Dirk, about who I make a podcast. So I'm a bit conflicted maybe about this match, but it will be fun, the first match on Sunday against him. So maybe you can also play a friendly Jimbo against Dirk later in the Dutch team.
Well, you see, maybe keeping a little bit mysterious with the revealing of tactics and formations and things like that. But maybe we'll see. When is your game? What day is it? Tomorrow or when?
Sunday. I think we're both Sunday.
Oh, Sunday as well. Okay, yeah. So I've got till Sunday. I've got till Sunday to make that. Because
the friendlies.
Yeah, yes. Because once a MFL club or nation plays in their Euro game, then they're no longer allowed to play friendlies after that.
Yeah, so you still have some time tomorrow to do loads of friendlies. Well, 5, right? He limited to 5.
Limited Ronan was the starting 5. Yeah.
Ronan was a bit upset. He understood it in the wrong way. I think he thought 5 against one nation. So he thought he had 24 or 23 times 5, right? Like about 115 friendlies to play, like he likes to do with Meta Mercenaries.
Yeah.
But that's not possible, so this will make it more interesting, I think. Yeah, and by the way, Dirk in 7 friendlies scored 0 goals, but he gave 5 assists. So it's all right, I would say.
I'm pretty sure that's like half his, or better than his contribution in like 15 games this season in 5 friendlies. Arguably, you could argue that against slightly weak opposition, maybe depending who they're playing against. But
yes,
yeah.
Well, he's a cup fighter, so maybe he's also an international cup fighter.
Yeah,
for the European Cup that will be about to see. So I think we can start. I think we did this pretty well, Jimbo. We said we should keep it a bit shorter than usual. And we've done it within half an hour, and we have for sure half an hour left for some Q&A and also our friendly Poland, England. So that will be really cool. So if you have any questions, please type them now. There's already one question, if there is a giveaway. for this live podcast. We didn't plan anything.
This has been planned in about 6 hours, so we've not been able to plan for a giveaway. But yeah, I'm sorry.
You never know. We might do like a little common Polish. Maybe I do a common low common Polish player later. Maybe he gets a score or something. We can improvise. Stay tuned for that.
Maybe no guarantees, but maybe.
Okay,
go on.
Let's see the first question. Let's start with that. So Kuzu98 says, I want to ask, is matchmaking in tournaments based on team overall, or is it completely random? Good question. So all competitions, the matchmaking, I think it's totally random, right? Usually. Well, apart from the cups, I think the leagues is random. The cups is based on overall.
Is this referring to? This isn't referring to the Euros, right? This is.
I don't know.
Earlier, I saw this question get asked earlier, but I didn't read it because it was during the intro.
Okay, well,
no. If it's tournaments that are, so for tournaments, it is based on the. What is it based on?
The best 11 overall.
The best 11 overall, but it's so the best 11 players in a squad. The average, or maybe the total, is taken, and then it runs all the way down. So it's essentially kind of seeded somewhat, but not really, but it is.
Yes, but the tournaments is not. That is just based on your license. So if you have all the iron clubs, there's no seeding for that. I think we've talked about it sometimes. It's very, I think, harder to do. But yeah, that's just based on luck. So there's some iron leagues who have very good teams and some are weaker. And if you're referring to Euro, the Euro is based on the real life Euro draw. So we have copied exactly the same groups and fixtures for the group stage. So in that sense, it's not random. It's just based on that.
Yeah. I'm seeing if it quickly says within the tournament pages. Yeah, so if you go into the tournaments page and then go to info, it says teams will be split into tiers of 32 teams based on the average overall rating of the top 18 players in their squad. There you go. So we were wrong. Top 11.
Okay.
Top 18.
Top 18.
Top 18. I think it used to be top 11, didn't it? But
yeah. Okay. So cup top 18 overall, then league is just based on your license, and Euro is based on real life. Okay, let's move on. Lem says, for the giveaway, give us the shirt off your back. So
it's not even. Does he mean my actual shirt I'm wearing, or do you mean this? Do you mean that Norwich? Oh my god!
The Norwich one or the England one? Well,
because this is just and this is a flag behind me. This is an England flag. That's an England flag behind me. But maybe one day we'll give away some merch when we get really big. When we get Mr. Worldwide, we are worldwide. But when we get big,
Mr. 305, your pitbull. Okay, Frajoko is. I'll just go through the chat like this. He says, "What would you like? What would you change about the engine? I personally would like to see even less upsets and more players scoring. Strikers get 90% of the goals. So, what do you think? How is the level of upsets? Is it a bit too much? Is it not enough? Do you think?"
I think it's a really interesting topic because I've spoken to a few people about this where upsets seem like they happen more than they do. I personally think because people shout about it more when it happens. there's literally thousands of games going on during the season. Well, is it thousands? I don't know. Can anyone give us the amount of total of games happening each season? And if about say if there's 2,000 games and there's 100 upsets, that's what 5% of the games are upsets, which actually isn't a big thing in the grand scheme of things. And it's also hard to define what an upset is as well sometimes, because if it's stuff like fatigue, then yeah, fair enough. But if it's just overrules, we know overrules aren't an indicator of if it's an upset or anything like that. But so
I think there's two things. Like, if you just speak about upsets in general, I agree with you, there is like a little selection bias, right? People are wired.
yeah.
Same with watching the news. You only remember the bad news, not the positive news.
Well, they only tell you the bad news in the news
and they only tell you the bad news. So there is a little selection bias. But what I do think is that there's been too many upsets with fatigued squads, and I think that shouldn't happen. Like, if in real life, if you have... So Ajax got kicked out of the cup by this team of amateurs, but they were super fit and super well trained and had great tactics. So that can happen. Like, their technique and their shooting and their passing is all worse, but they're crazy fit and very motivated and they have good tactics. So then an upset can happen. That's okay.
Yeah.
But imagine, like, then if they're also fatigued, that should never ever happen. So I think upsets with fatigued guys, that is sometimes a bit too much. I think that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But with just two fit teams, I think it's an all right level based on real life.
Yeah.
And it's part of the fun. So I think that would be my answer. And about strikers getting 90% of the goals, yeah,
I agree with that. I would like other players being able to score as well. More.
In like a 4-2-3-1, I play 4-2-3-1 a lot, and strikers almost always get all the goals. So I do think that could be a little bit better, yes. You too, then, Jimbo, you said.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd like to see a better portfolio of players scoring, a better range, a better positional spread of players scoring, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so Fradjoker, we agree that we want more maybe midfielders or the central defender sometimes, or backs. So I think that would be nice. Then Bruzel, he asked, where do you see more chaos happening in real life, Euro or the MFL European? So where, like, the most unexpected or the most upsets? What do you think?
I'm calling it MFL Euros 100%. 100. There are some nations in this MFL Euros which, in my opinion, are way stronger than what they are in real life. And there's some that are also slightly underwhelming as well, which I'm going to put it out there. I said it last podcast. I don't think France does as well as people think they do in the MFL Euro. I think the France one is quite different to what they are in real life.
In real life,
yeah. I think there'll be upsets in both, but MFL Euro more.
The same for my team, for Poland. Like, in real life, Poland, I think they will end last in Group D. I think they will be eliminated in the group stage. But in MFL, we have a very good team. You'll see in a second. It's pretty stacked.
You've jinxed that now, mate. I'm beating you 5-0.
It could be, but like, just based on the overall, if you just look at that squad, it's pretty strong compared to real life.
Yeah.
It's also hard to say where's the most chaos, because we don't really know. You know, like, in the normal Euro, we've built up all these reputations. You've had the whole qualification process. It's a bit easier to judge, like, what are real upsets and what can happen. I think this is the first time ever we play a national tournament, so but it's harder to say. But based on what we know about the engine and what we know about it, the squads are pretty even. Let's say, in the grand scheme of things, the upsets can happen. So I think MFL will see more chaos than in the real Euro. I think that's my I think MFL 1 will be definitely chaos, because with squads that are pretty even, relatively speaking, upsets and unlucky, and just, like, it can go anywhere, I think.
Yeah,
so luck will play a big role. I think luck will be a big factor this tournament. Now let's see, where are we with the questions?
I think
are you also checking the chat?
Yeah, I'm also checking the chat. Yeah, Lamb says that it wasn't the Norwich shirt. No one wants that. Just the England one. I don't like that Norwich slander. Fragiolko just clarifying on his question. BA Palmer, biggest underdog / overachiever in real life and MFL. Is that? I'm assuming that's for the Euros.
Yeah, I think that is for Euro, yeah, but that's an interesting one. So let's do it for the Euro, and Palmer, maybe if you mean other clubs or whatever, just let us know. But I think for Euros, okay, biggest underdog overachiever. Okay, let's start with underdog.
Well, it's the same thing. It's just, I think he's saying like who's the biggest underdog or who goes above and beyond. I think it's the same.
Okay,
same
for
thing.
Euros. Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
so you can start. What do you think?
Biggest underdog. See, I really liked Denmark as a bit of an underdog, but then I saw Ronan say something, or saw Ronan's results, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm not so sure, because they have the best goalkeeper in the game. They've got 3 unbelievable centre backs, and they've got Tyson. So I thought they've got a really good squad. But I'll still back that. I'll still back that Denmark. Denmark is going to be my underdog. Who I've also got
MFL.
Yeah, for MFL Denmark. My underdog, my dark horse in the real life Euros. God, that's a really tough question, that one. Can you give your MFL underdog if you've got it, and I'll have a little think about my Euros one, my actual one.
Okay, so yeah, underdog or like, but it's also a bit hard to say. You would say Switzerland doesn't seem like a big MFL nation, but they actually have a pretty strong squad also.
Yeah.
But I think they can do well. What could be another? Yeah, it's so this is a bit hard. Like you have a bit less of a reference. What should be an underdog and what should be a title contender, right?
I think maybe Serbia's got quite a good lineup.
Serbia,
as well.
yeah, Serbia. I think actually, or Turkey, maybe. I think Turkey. Turkey has,
yeah.
I think Turkey has a very, very good, like 2 very good strikers. If you play them in a 4-4-2, give them enough supply, I think they will be super deadly. They will always be scoring goals. I think Turkey might be my MFL underdog, and then real life. What do you think? The Euros starting today.
Can you even count Belgium as an underdog? I don't think you can. I was going to say I don't, but I don't think they will be. I think everyone that's pretty poor will go out. That's my problem. I was going to say maybe someone like Hungary maybe might do quite well, especially in the group with Switzerland and Scotland as well. Scotland who play in 20 minutes time, and I'm not sure if I'm supporting Scotland or Germany yet. I think I either wanted to be 1-0 Scotland or 5-0 Germany. Nothing in between. But I'll go for Hungary in this situation. Maybe Hungary.
Okay, I would say I think actually Austria. They have been very good in qualifying in the qualification. They have a very good physical team with like all Bundesliga guys, a couple of guys who are very creative. Like they all play for like Leipzig or Frankfurt or like kind of good German teams. So I think Austria might be like as a team. I think they're super strong and super physical, and that might get you far in a tournament when you need it. So I think Austria would be mine for the real Euros. Any more questions, guys? Let us know.
Or we'll take last couple of questions before we'll rock up and do a couple of England versus Poland friendlies from the Euros.
I think we can do at least 2.
We can do at least 2, yeah.
You challenge me and I challenge you, let's say. Like that.
Yeah, Palmer said Scotland, I think, have done well in friendlies. I didn't pay attention to them. I think that was regarding the MFL side to Euros, because they drew to Gibraltar in a friend. No, they only beat Gibraltar like 1-0 or 2-0, or maybe even 3, I can't remember. Wasn't that a great performance. But yeah, Scotland and MFL look pretty good as well. Obviously managed by B Sellers, who looks after the BFC Barcelona and the CEO, what can I say, CEO, the founder of the Ballers DAO. So yeah, there's a lot of teams in the MFL nations or the MFL Euros who I think will be underdogs because of there's quite a nice spread of big legendaries gone around.
Yes, I think it can really go anywhere. I think, but it's interesting to see the shares, where like what people think. Like the shares kind of like people put their money where they think the good teams are. So we can see Germany got a lot, for example, and there's not so many Germans in MFL. So I think people think Germany is definitely one of the strongest teams.
Yeah.
I think, France is just because of a lot of French users, I think.
Yeah.
That's why France was backed a lot.
I think they're not going to do so well. I'm happy to eat my heart out, but I don't think they're going to do that well at it. But
we're about to see that. We're about to see. We have another question from Dub. Mill says, with all things equal, where do you put your MFL captain? A nice question.
I think we've already got 2 answers in the chat, but 2 people saying striker. I also agree. I think if all things remain equal, ceteris paribus, use an economics term, I'd use striker.
Yes, I think me too. I think I almost always captain my striker unless there's a significant lack of passing in my team. But I think like having a good striker really makes a difference. Having a high shooting really makes a difference.
And especially
in MFL.
Especially with Radioko's question about
exactly.
and he was saying how you see that strikers contribute so many goals to a match. It almost feels like you are missing out the opportunity cost of not. I'm really getting these economic terms out today. The opportunity cost of not captaining a striker is far greater than captaining other positions, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think most people agree. Like with how strikers are acting currently, it's almost it's like the most logical to do that. So I think there's not much discussion about it. And I also see Lam and Big Wilbert agreeing striker. And then Ron John says this EC24 format is so fun. What applications would you like to see in the future with this format? Well, definitely all, I think, international tournaments.
Yeah,
right?
I think we discussed this on the last podcast, and I said really aside from these tournaments, and we both agreed that I don't, top of my head, because I'm thinking of many things right now in my head, that I can't. I would like it to be used for this international tournaments in the future. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything else it would be used for.
Well, I have another, like definitely for like European Championship, World Cup, Africa Cup, Copa America,
those ones, Copa
like
America,
all those tournaments, and a World Cup. But also, it would be fun to have this rest day in the season where there is just like a Nations League or a friendly, and just that your players get called up, and then those managers who are then in charge can use them. So have it more as a consistent, regular thing. And what I said with player profiles, that you can see caps and how they're doing it in their international teams.
Yeah.
So I think to have it more like to really replicate the real world of football, to have that a bit more like within the season, 1 or 2 days will be international duty. Will be for international matches. I think that would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
To see that.
To play devil's advocate here, though, I think we've got to be careful. I've got to be careful with the shares point of view and like the money side, but also like how much MFL points will get released on a regular occurrence. Because if we look at the indirect effects with regards to like say price of players in the marketplace. If everyone's getting MFL points quite frequently, do then prices of players come down? Although is that something that is that an intentional byproduct? Because we've still got, after this MFL tournament, prices of uncommons will probably come down slightly. But then you don't know if the demand's still there. I'm thinking more from a lot of people may now have after this MFL points to spend on uncommon players, or which currently an uncommon player is worth $12.50 the player pack. And we know from the fact now you can triple that quite quickly. So will it make adjustments there? How do we look on that?
I think in my mind, I don't think the whole shares buying format, like I don't think it's something we should always do for each tournament. I rather just see it as a country NFT, as like a club country NFT that can be passed around or rotated based on some system of merit.
Maybe you buy one. Maybe you buy one share in a country, and then that is just one vote for the manager. So everyone gets an equal amount of the prize pool, but then you just have one vote. Maybe something like that.
Yeah, well, like some other way, but I think it's just there's like an under 21 and an under 18 NFT for each country, and we have how many countries by now? Like 60. So you have like 60 times 3 is 180
mate, we're not
country NFTs.
We're not getting under 18s for years, mate. We're not getting under 18 national.
Okay, but I'm just speculating. I think that would be
like
more feasible as like going into the future, and the whole shares thing. I think that's maybe not very sustainable to always do that. Yeah. I think it's more fun, and then also agents get way more share, and the manager gets maybe 10%. Yeah. Plus, not from his own guys, something like that.
But I imagine this for the MFL guys is a really nice sort of like 50% of them goes to them, obviously, for all their stuff. So that would have been quite a nice little learner. But I think we need to crack on with a
friendly time.
A friendly time.
So who starts? Who challenges first?
Could you share your screen and do it? Because you know how I was saying earlier about the audio. Only I can hear you standing robotic when I share my screen. The stream cannot. The stream sounds fine, but for me, so I think if you share your screen, it won't load my PC massively. It's struggling today. It knows it's the weekend coming up and it can have a little bit of a rest.
So I'll challenge you.
You can challenge me.
Yeah. So I'll type in England, and then when the match is loaded up.
Good morning from the floaty team. The floaty team.
The floaty team.
Welcome to the chat. First time chat there. Morning from the floaty team. I think you do follow both of us on Twitter, actually, Jimbo and Calva, and the WenDirk as well. So obviously, Floaty, one of the big sort of application websites built within on the Flow blockchain, with, as you call it, it's built within on the Flow blockchain. I can hear myself, mate.
Wait, the live stream is on there.
you can hear yourself.
Sorry, there's a live stream here, so.
Yeah. I'll quickly just carry on the note. Floaty, obviously, you can trade players, packs. It's not just MFL assets you can trade and purchase on there, but also from a fee point of view, it's really, really good as well. So definitely recommend checking out. I haven't already, but I know most of you already have.
But we're on the way. We're playing Poland, England, and oh no, this looks like a good chance already for England. It's just a friendly. Okay, good. What are you playing, actually? I'm playing 4-3-3 defensive. You're playing 4-3-1-2. So good to know that.
or my... I'm back. Yeah,
actually, we should...
First friendly.
We should do it as like a radio commentary, by the way.
If you could speak a million miles an hour, then be my guest for radio commentary.
So far, England is doing better. You already had 3 shots in the first 20 minutes. I had 0 shots on target. So that's not looking good. But in the other matches we played, we also came back later. So
I've not listened to any national anthems yet. How do they sound?
I also didn't actually listen to that. I think because I have usually my sound turned off for matches and things, but Jimbo, I must say you're dominating us. It's looking not so good.
To use a phrase I've heard recently quite a lot, it's not looking good, bruv. When it comes to
where is our first shot? By the way, this is the first time we're Brown scored 1-0.
Thanks, bro.
30 minutes, 1-0 to England. 1-0 England.
Where's my flag?
Wave your flag. Yes.
There we go.
It's really... by the way, this is the first time ever we test this formation. Quick FYI, so we also don't know if it works or not. I don't think this will make it in our final.
Never in doubt. It's coming home, folks. We scored a goal in a friendly. It's coming home. It's coming home.
Yeah, it's almost half time. Still 0 shots from the Polish team. It's embarrassing. At home also.
Yax is flaming you, mate. Yax is flaming you in the chat. He says, are you planning some tactical changes?
Yes. Well, actually, will we play a rematch of this?
We can do a rematch, we'll do a rematch.
And I'll play my other formation we've been testing. 2-0.
It's coming home. It's coming home.
This is
it's coming home.
This is getting embarrassing. But this is very dramatic.
What are the
3-0?
Oh,
3-0.
Richards, a last-minute inclusion on the plane. I will say Richard was. I can. Well, the thing is, this isn't intentionally my strongest lineup, but it might be. It might be now. It might be now.
It might be now. But did you set any team instructions, or you think it's not enough time to experiment?
Most of the sliders I kept on balance.
Yeah, I'm sharing England versus Poland.
There we go.
Can we score a goal? That's my main mission.
Do we know what happens?
Already we have a shot. We have a shot.
The tactics have worked. The
tactical change. Oh no, not Richards from so close. Don't do this to me. No. Not again.
It's coming.
We can come back from this.
Hashtag Calva out. It's coming.
It's Zaborowski, another one. Come on, make it 4-1. You can do it. There we go. 4-1.
What is this, man? This is how confusing
Jimbo out,
is
guys.
this right
Jimbo
now,
out.
How confusing Jimbo out? How confusing? This
Jimbo out.
This is an upset, boys. This is maybe upsets do happen more than we think. No, I'm joking.
This seems to work quite well. 4-1.
All right, Lamb, get rid of that hashtag right now. Get rid of that hashtag.
No. We leave it. Okay, 4-1, 3-0. So on aggregate, we are equal.
How do I lose 3? How do I lose 4-1 after beating you 3-0? That is mad. Letting the nation down. I know. Just like Southgate.
Hashtag is it coming home?
Hashtag it came home for 5 minutes.
So what do we do? You want to have the third one?
Yeah, let's do one more, chat. Let's do one more.
Yeah, let's do one more. Screen, there we go. So curious to see what did you do. So you're on a...
It's coming. It's coming.
58 seconds and he scored already. What did you do? You just changed to a 4-4-2.
I changed to a 4-4-3.
I'm still in a 3-4-3, but with a new right mid and a new right winger. In a bit out of position. Well, 1-0. Didn't I go down 1-0 also in the other one? So I shouldn't panic. Zaborowski.
He scored. He's had all his chances last game. He ate them all up last game. And he thought, I need a rest.
Those ones you have to put away, Zaborowski.
How did I score from 0.02? That's kind of mad. That was the first shot. Was 0.0.
We were sleeping very close. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, can we equalize?
Roman, we have ourselves the game.
Roman.
Florian Wirtz.
Where's the scoring?
Melvin Wood. Melvin Wood. The hashtag is not looking good.
Melvin Wood is you.
The hashtag is not looking good for you, bro.
No, I'm feeling it's there. Congrats.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
England.
So the hashtag's quite harsh, though. Are you okay with that hashtag?
Let's do it. It will only put more fire into our team.
So after an England victory in a best of 3, 3-0 win, 4-1 loss, and then a 3-1 win, the hashtag for today's episode of the WenDirk cast is going to be hashtag Calva out. So if you're listening to this right now, to prove you listen to this podcast and to prove you're listening on stream, hashtag Calva out. If you're listening right now on the live stream, I want you to put it in the Discord right now. Right now, go to Discord, hashtag Calva out. Let them know.
And after listening, of course, after the podcast.
And after listening, maybe by the time the podcast comes out, Calva's already won his first game, and actually it's just not really Calva out, it's Calva back in. But yeah,
that's true. Yeah, when you listen to this, we already played our first matches, so
yeah.
You never know what's happening then.
No.
How are you feeling? Wait, let's do a little prediction to finish. What do you think, your first game?
Just to let you know, mate, your webcam has frozen, but you're smiling and your hair looks great, so it doesn't matter.
That's all the people want. The people want that.
We can still hear you.
So.
We can still hear you, but the Calva webcam has frozen. But predictions: England win both Euros and Euros.
Well, Poland will lose to the Netherlands in real life. I think that's obvious. But I'm pretty confident we can beat the US Netherlands MFL. So awesome. If that's not the case, you can keep spamming with Calva out. So
yeah. Yes. I think we'll wrap it up there. Do you agree, Calva?
Yes, yeah. So let's all start watching Germany, Scotland, and it's great we could do it. It was nice input from you. Thank you for live listening.
Yes,
and also fun to show some international matches on MFL for the first time. So
yeah, most
great.
Definitely,
yeah. I don't know how it will be to listen back to it as an episode. Curious, so maybe give your feedback.
I'll do some magic. You do some magic. I'll do some magic. But yeah, if you've listened now during the live stream, a huge thank you to all of you who've listened, watched, contributed, engaged. If you don't listen to the podcast already, I'll put the link tree in the chat. Click on that, or go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Type in the WenDirk cast. You'll get it. Weekly episodes. We may even do some shorter episodes for the Euros. We've got to see how many managers we can get hold of. But yes, it's been a really great episode. Really special to do a live one as well. And if people like this format, we can do more live ones in the future, which will be amazing. So without further ado, don't forget your hashtag Calva out, or maybe Calva Redemption if he does win his first game. But thank you very much for listening to the WenDirk cast, and we'll see you this time next week for episode 43 of the WenDirk cast. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. See you guys.
See you later, boys. Come on, Germany.